it for my reels and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, good morning, friends. We are live here this morning with Sip with Stacey, and I have the wonderful guest, Anna Ferguson, hailing from the great state of Maryland. And the idea behind our leadership live stream is to take a deep dive into leadership, but more specifically, how our leaders are living the mission, vision, and values of our council. I was inspired to start this program because as leaders, we lift as we climb. And mentors along my leadership have extended a hand to me, and I'm passionate about doing the same for others. But we're here to talk about Anna today and how she got into real estate, who reached out a hand to Anna to lift her, and then who she's currently lifting. So everyone, please give a warm welcome to Anna. Thank you, Anna, for being on the program today. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. Thank you for asking me. I am humbled to be a part of this Discord. I'm very excited.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm so honored to have you on the program today. So without further ado, let's find out how long Anna Ferguson has been in real estate.
I graduated from high school in 1990 with a high school diploma in one hand and a real estate license in the other. I was 18 years old. Thank you. And that's how I paid for college, believe it or not. I'm from New York, so real estate's all we got. We don't have cows, we have real estate. So I was doing rental properties while I was in college.
Wow. Okay. So immediately you were a boss lady. I'm just going to say it. Okay. You graduated from high school at the same time you had your license. So you're definitely a boss lady. Now tell me more about New York, because my husband is from New York and we visit there all the time. And I did not know this about you. So where in New York are you from?
I was born and raised in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I started my real estate career in Long Island, Valley Stream part of New York, and that's more out of the city itself, out of city proper and into the suburbs. And
Okay.
so I did rentals and I did foreclosure real estate, and I did that through college. And then I moved down to Maryland, where I live now. I attended College Park, and now I am a licensed realtor in the great state of Maryland.
Okay. Okay, great. So now my husband was from Brooklyn too. Okay. His father was a police officer in Red Hook, and then they moved out to the island, Hicksville. Do you know where that is?
I know where Hicksville. Oh my God. Oh, Hicksville isn't too far from Hofstra, where I went to school, and that's in Uniondale. No, that's in Hempstead. So Hicksville and Hempstead are very close.
Yes, that's what I thought. So I wanted to ask you because I knew you would know.
Hicksville I used to work in Hicksville, like, well, not too far, Roosevelt Field at the mall, when you're doing that Christmas stuff and you want to get the Christmas discounts when you're a kid. So I loved that stuff. I loved living out there, but I really appreciate living out here in Maryland. I love my Baltimoreans. I love my DMV people. This is literally the center of everything. So I'm very blessed because we have lots of cultures here. So it's really becoming more and more like New York with the different cultures and peoples and foods and stuff like that.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is beautiful. So Anna, tell me about your state. You have 8 networks, and then you have a state network. How many members do you have, and all of that?
I love my network. We are currently 8 locals networks. Oh my God, they are phenomenal. We just brought on our newest network, which is the Southern Maryland region. Maryland is cut into many different counties. There's about 10 counties altogether, and we have literally central Maryland. So we have everything from DC that everybody knows about, and from the DC suburbs to the Baltimore suburbs. So we have two major cities in Maryland, and Washington, DC is its own state, but we have a network that that services that area. That is our greater capital area network. And then we have a network, Frederick, all the way out into the mountains that go all the way into West Virginia. Then we have my home network, Baltimore, and we service everyone in the Baltimore metro area, which is Baltimore City and the county, and Carroll County.
Okay.
And then we are in Howard, which is a wonderful network, which is where we are centrally located, so everybody can come there and do that. And Howard County has boasts the most sought after cities in the US, with Ellicott City and Columbia. So we're very blessed, and Hartford County is phenomenal, Anne Arundel County, great food, Annapolis, it's just phenomenal. I love all of my networks and all of the women in my networks. We are a real sisterhood. We're friends, and I like that. We work together.
That's awesome.
I'm very proud of them.
Oh, that's awesome. So for all you network leaders that are out there and members, look at Anna and look at the love and just affinity that she has for her members and her networks. And that really shows through and through. And I think that speaks really volumes of who you are as a leader, because we're there to wrap our arms around our membership and help and lead and lift them as they climb. And so thank you for being that leader, Anna. That really shows to me who you are.
I am just humbled that the women of Maryland rallied around me and wanted me to lead them. I was shocked when I look at all the women around me who, I mean, like, these are, you talk about me being a boss. These are boss women. We're talking women who own franchises, women who own multiple brokerages, women who own multiple businesses within their real estate businesses. I am honored, and I just love being around other women that are like, they get it. You know what I mean? They get it. You know how some women, they see a problem and they wallow in it? These women, they see a problem and they look at it as a challenge, and they're like, okay, how are we going to make this work? I am floored with the excellence of womandom I have at Women's Council Maryland. I am floored with it. If I may boast on my own network, Baltimore, we have not one, not two, I think 3 broker owners who are on leadership positions in our network, as well as office managers and top producing agents. So we don't have lazy agents in doing this. We have women that want to make change. And that's why I am there.
And then I'm getting so inspired just listening to you, because that's what makes us better and better, and it inspires us to do more when we surround ourselves with people like that, like-minded people like that. And it just brings me to this little document that I have that I just get so excited. And this could be even a little out of date, but let's listen to these numbers, because these are phenomenal numbers. 60% of all the personal wealth in the US is held by women. Okay. 85% of all consumer purchases in the US are made by women. We need to look at women and follow women, because we are leading. We really are. Women over the age of 50 have a combined net worth of $19 trillion. Is that powerful or what?
That is phenomenal, but it's not surprising.
Right.
And it's not surprising because I think when we start believing in ourselves, we start doing more. I think it's a situation where I like the idea of women getting together with other women, and men, of course, are more than welcome. And and the men that do support Women's Council are men that are truly, I don't want to use the word feminist because it has such a bad connotation to it sometimes,
Yeah.
but they truly believe in a woman's equality to do whatever she wants to do that she feels comfortable doing. Is that fair?
Yeah, I love that. I love how you framed that up. That was perfect. And go ahead.
It's when you find like-minded, I call it like-minded chicks. And when you find like-minded chicks that you could sit down and you can vibe with, you can talk about not just the kids, but the money, the investments, the generational wealth. Those are the kind of chicks that I don't get me wrong, I like to drink and gossip on brunch Sundays too. But I like that when we get together, we're talking about, okay, so what's your new marketing strategy? What's your plan? What's your budget? How much did you increase your marketing budget to, now that we're having this shift in the market or this balancing of the market? And I like conversations like that other than Beyonce tickets.
That's right. That's right. I love that because I love that we're like-minded, we're talking business, we're helping each other. Okay, you know what? This strategy worked for me that I'm doing since the market pivoted. And then we can talk about if that would work in your market, because we're all about here to help each other. Because when I give you an idea and I'm sharing an idea, it's not going to take away from my business, my sphere of influence. It's only going to help you. And that's what we're here to do, is we're here to elevate each other and help each other, because really leadership is about people's potential and becoming better. Alone, we can do so little, but together we can do so much, right?
Correct. The country that my parents come from, I'm an immigrant. I'm a first generation American. My parents are immigrants.
Okay.
And the motto of the country that they come from is together we aspire, together we achieve.
Okay.
And they come from Trinidad and Tobago. It's right now they're going crazy down there. It's carnival season. And so I am sitting here and I'm like, that's Women's Council. That's any organization you want to be in where your success does not knock out my success.
That's right.
My success does not take away from yours either. And that's why I like working within Women's Council, because we work on abundance. We don't work in this scarcity mindset.
Amen. Amen to that. So all you leaders out there that you're listening to Anna, out there in our audience today, network leaders, members, remember that, have a coffee with another member, have a coffee with your state president if you have one, or just do a Zoom, reach out to Anna. Let's be sharing ideas and helping each other, especially in this pivot in market. It's getting a little more challenging. It's not like the last 2 years, you put the sign in the front yard and you get 10 calls. It's not happening. So we really have to get back to the basics of real estate, but let's share, let's help each other, because that's Women's Council. And I do want to give a shout out, Michael Martin from Dayton, Ohio. He is on here. He's one of the men that supports Women's Council so much, and he is on our chat feed here. So thank you, Michael, for joining and supporting the Women's Council.
Michael's the man.
Yeah. That's so important, right?
Yep, that is extremely important.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, Anna, I want to know what the best piece of advice you were given in real estate.
Have multiple streams of income.
Ooh.
Do not rely on buyers and sellers to make the ends meet. And real estate is more than just buyers and sellers.
Okay, I love this. I love this. Okay, I want you to expand.
Okay. I am a real estate agent. I've been licensed for over 30 years. God help me. God help me.
It's a beautiful career, right? It's a beautiful career.
It is such a wonderful career for women because it allows us the freedom of movement. You can start off buying and selling houses. When I started off in real estate in the 90s, the big technology was fax machines. You remember? That was huge technology, girl.
I love it.
And it was much more localized, and it was much more smaller than it is today. Like right now, real estate is global. It's not just, it is hyper localized. Like you are an agent in your area, and knowing your market allows you to dominate. But if you were somebody that said, hey, I want to sell vacation properties in the Dominican Republic, real estate allows you to do that. You just have to have the proper education for it. We at Women's Council Maryland sponsored the CHIPS certification for many, many years. And this is something that I truly believe that if you are a person doing real estate, there's more than one way to make money in the business. You can make money as a buyer's agent. You can make money as a listing agent. That's basic stuff. If you have a skill set for showing houses, you can market yourself out within your brokerage or whatever your laws allow for you to show houses, if that is your happy place. And some agents pay for people to show people their homes. That may not be a great means of money, but it is a great way for you to do in real estate what you like. I love teaching. I love education. So what did I do in real estate? I became a real estate educator. I learned to merge my joy of real estate with my passion for learning and my passion for teaching. So I have multiple ways of making money within as an educator, as a tutor. I have a teachable class for my students that want to do it virtually. Figure out a way to make multiple streams of income while doing real estate. There are some real estate agents that are phenomenal with social media. If you do it well enough and you can monetize it, what's wrong with that? It's another means of making money within the business that you work in. And I truly believe, I know a lot of real estate agents that are appraisers, that are loan officers, that moonlight as home inspectors. There are multiple ways of making business and money within your business, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that's just my 2 cents.
No, I love that. I love that because you always have to have a backup plan for the backup plan, right?
You know how many real estate agents are property owners and property managers? Not enough. We sell the houses. Why aren't we making business, doing it? My sorority sister, who's a realtor in New York, hi Melba, in Long Island, hey Melba Toast. She's a property manager, and she teaches property management to property managers in New York. She's phenomenal. I love her. You can make money in this business if you think more than just 5 minutes in it.
Right. So the spectrum of real estate is so large.
Now
dive
it is, yes,
into it, diversify. So then when we hit the speed bump, we hit the little hiccup, we're not panicking. We've got a little nest egg, invest in real estate, maybe have some income, producing properties, you're teaching, you're an appraiser, anything. There's so many different avenues in real estate. And that's why this is such a beautiful profession, right?
And it is, because the students that I have at the community college that I teach, a lot of them are women. Almost all of them are women. The majority of the class is women.
Okay.
And in real estate, the majority of real estate professionals are women, but the majority of $1 million producers are men. And you just pulled up those numbers about $19 trillion of wealth all these women have, yet we're not utilizing each other to market that wealth.
Yeah.
I find that that's baffling to me. And I don't understand why. And that's why I like Women's Council, because the tapping, the pull someone up, lift as we rise situation we've got going on here. I know for a fact that the women that I tap are going to be something phenomenal today, tomorrow, next year. And they are going to tap someone and build them up accordingly.
Yes.
That's why I do what I do. That's where my passion lies, in pulling other women up. Because even though we own 61% of real estate, you just quoted, or 59% of real estate. When we divorce our husbands, because most of us have that property in marriage. Most of us, when we divorce our husbands, a lot of people don't talk about it. We don't keep our houses. We don't. We lose our homes.
No.
I did not mean to put my hand up. I will lower my hand. So that is that, you know.
No, it's okay. It's okay because you're passionate about it. And so am I, very passionate about it. So I'll tell you, in 2018, National asked me to speak, and I spoke at mid-year, and it was, the name of the class was Lady Boss. And in doing research, I pulled the data from NAR. Okay. 76% of us are women in the real estate industry. When you look at the leadership roles, only 22, 24% of us sit in those chairs at NAR, own their own brokerages. And I just don't understand it. It's mind-blowing to me how we cannot get more leaders to raise their hand and take that, say, yes, I can do it. And then we need other leaders to get behind them if they don't have the self-confidence, so we can help them get there. So my passion now is lift as you climb. But when anyone lifts their hand, we need to all rally around her, don't we? Because for some reason, we don't have the confidence that men do. And I've seen this like in Little League and football. It's so cute. Like the little boys, they'll just raise their hand. Oh, can I do quarterback? I've never done it. I'll figure it out when I get there. Women, these little girls will say, oh, they'll ask their friend, oh, do you think I can do it? Do you think I'm qualified? Maybe I need to take another class. Like, we're so self-doubting, and we have to get around and support our other ladies, because obviously we are lacking the self-confidence that men have. And I think that's where it all lies. What do you think, Anna?
I think it's that, and what we teach our girls to not to be bossy. And now I love that we're changing it from bossy to the boss. I'm not bossy, I'm the boss. There's a big difference.
Yes.
And that's why I have my daughter goes to an all-girls school. Learn how to be strong among other women, because women are stronger when we're together. And I love the fact that the school that my daughter goes to encourages you can do anything. You can do anything. Think it, make a plan, do it. And you and I both know the most dangerous creature on the planet is a woman with a plan. We are the most dangerous creatures on the planet. A woman with a plan is a dangerous creature. And I truly believe that if we allow women the comfort to think it can be done. As I was stating, the women who are in my classes, a lot of them that pass my class and are able to take the state exam, they are, they're like, I want to do this so I can do this. And they got big plans. And I truly believe all of them have these big plans, and something happens between the big plans and actually doing the plan. They lose sight of it. You remember that excitement when you went to your first real estate class? You knew you were going to be the real estate agent of the millennium, because it's just so easy. And the easiness of it, you learn this is not an easy job. And it is not. This is not an easy job. And then you also learned, hey, maybe you learned a lot. You fell a lot. I truly think that if we create a situation where we can stop the pitfalls before they happen, a lot of women will be more apt to say, hey, I can be a broker owner. There are so many broker owners just in my network alone. And there are so many broker owners just in my state alone. it is mind-boggling. My president-elect owns her Exit Realty. She is the broker owner. Tina
Is that
the
Tina Hyatt?
bomb.com. Tina Hyatt. Tina
Yes.
is the bomb.com. And I learned from Tina. I'm like, so how did you do this? And how did you get that done? And she'll just say, oh yeah, I did this and this. Things that I wouldn't have thought to put together. And that's why I like Women's Council, because they put all these dynamic women together, phenomenal women together in the same room, talking the same business, which is money, or life, or lifestyle, or just getting out of their comfort zone. I love it. And Women's Council fosters that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's make a pact here. We as women, when we see another woman that wants to raise her hand and wants to take a new position, we get behind the woman and we help them, because that's what is needed, right?
Correct. And I also think it's when we went, like I came in right when we went from networks, we became networks, from chapters to networks.
Okay. Okay.
So we had in my region, we had a big information, a brain drain. So a lot of the old ways that we did things, or a lot of the ways that things were done, kind of went away. So a lot of the people that are coming up in my area are new to Women's Council. We're not 20, not all of us are 10 years in. I'm only 5 years in. 5 years, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 5 years in. You know how you have to do that.
5 years in and you're state president.
5 years in and I'm state president, because I said, I think I could do that. Let me try. And the woman that tapped me was Nakia Evans, who is beyond words. I love her like, oh my God. And she tapped me and said, girl, come to this meeting. I was like, what am I coming to a meeting for? I don't want to meet. And she was like, just come to this meeting. And once I went to the meeting, it was like, we always had this? And she was like, yeah, girl, where you been? I was like, I just thought they ate lunch all the time. It's the truth. All I thought they did was eat lunch. They had $25 lunches. And I was like, I ain't got $25 for lunch. You know, it just wasn't, it didn't interest me. And it wasn't until she made me come that I was like, oh, I've got $25 for lunch. And the person that made me stay in Women's Council was our former governor, Christina Carol Ferguson. She passed away during COVID, and she was my mentor. She's the one that got me into teaching real estate classes. And she's the one that was like, oh, Anna, I could see you doing a lot in Women's Council. And I was like, why? Why do you think I can do a lot in Women's Council? Because she's like, because they need people like you. They need people like us. Women's Council needs people that'll say, this doesn't make sense to me, and you've got to help me understand it. Or let's try this way, or just try it. What's the worst thing that can happen? Because I think when we went from chapters to networks, it allowed for that, let's just try it attitude came. Right. And I like that, because a lot of people who are running in Women's Council now or the women who are running your local networks, a lot of us are new. A lot of us are new. Like when I was looking at some of the presidents, when we had the state presidents, me and the Virginia president was like 5 years, 6 years. I was like, wow. Yeah. But I still moved up the ranks. I was my local treasurer. And then I went from treasurer to president-elect, and then from president-elect to president. And I did president for 2 years in my network. And then I was tapped to be president-elect for the state. And now I am president-elect. I am president of my state, and my state is phenomenal. And we're talking about maybe opening up other networks, because women really and truly are understanding the need for Women's Council. And the value. Oh my God, the value is phenomenal. Forget the CEs and the designations. I'm talking the networking alone is worth millions of dollars. just
It
the
is.
networking.
And the camaraderie and the support. And that's why we have to continue that support and just get behind other women and help them. Because can you imagine if we were just sitting here next year and if we all tap one other person on the shoulder and we help them lift as they climb, do you know what our numbers would be? Doubled? I mean, it just could be mind blowing. It
Exactly.
really.
That's what I told when I became president. I said, if each woman in this room, or if each member of Women's Council tapped another person, our numbers would double. We'd have over 1,000 women in Women's Council, and we would be a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
We are, but Women's Council in Maryland has been around for 50 years. This is our 50th year.
That's awesome.
That is phenomenal. For a women's organization to be 50 years old, that means in 1972 and in 1973, for it to be chartered and come through, and for it to still be relevant and needed it speaks volumes to me.
Yes, definitely. And I wanted to let you know, I served with Christina. She was our VP.
Yep.
And so I knew her. Yes, I knew her. So I loved her, and I actually gave her a referral from Arizona. My girlfriend had to move to Baltimore because her son is very sick, and the doctor moved from Arizona to Baltimore, and she had to follow him. And so Christina helped them get housing. So I love her. I know her. Yes.
She was a wonderful woman, and her leaving left a void. And we are all still reeling with it. We started a Christine Carroll Foundation for education in our network for the state. So every education event proceeds go towards the Christina Carroll Foundation.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you for doing that. That's just wonderful.
Well,
now,
we loved
Anna,
her.
Yes, absolutely. Anna, I wanted to ask you about referrals now within the Women's Council and your business, because Women's Council is the number one reason per our survey that we took is that women join first and men because of referrals. We're the top referral network. And so how is that in your business? Let's hear about that.
I use Women's Council referrals because during COVID, because my son is asthmatic, I didn't go out as much. That's why my teaching business took off, because I would refer out clients, and I referred them out to other Women's Council members. Again, my sorority sister in Long Island, Women's Council of Long Island, she took a referral for New York for me. And she was very pleased with it. Sold a property in New York, and properties in New York, a 2-family in New York, that's $1 million right there. Yes. So I was like, yay. And when I got my referral check, I was like, so it works. I truly believe it works. I truly think that working within Women's Council, the quality and the caliber of the women that you are working with, especially if they have the PMN designation, that that they have taken their business seriously within Women's Council.
Yes, it's the power of the network. Definitely.
It is the power of the network.
Definitely. Now, Anne, I want to talk about some of your community involvement, what you're doing in Maryland, or even personally, but maybe even with the state. How are you involved with the community?
Oh, I am involved in many ways, because as you know, in Women's Council, you can't just be a member of Women's Council. Oh, no. I am also on the legislative committee for my local board, as well as on different boards for different committees for the board. I'm the co-chair of education. I am on the legislative committee, and for the state, I'm on the GRI committee. I just finished leaving lobby day, where we as real estate professionals were in Annapolis reminding our wonderful officials about the importance of client or homeowner property rights, and how real estate agents are very strong in making sure that homeowner rights are respected and maintained. And, we have a couple of laws coming through, especially one that is near and dear to my heart, which is additional education for real estate agents who just became licensed. So we're like, oh, by the way, yeah, you got to do this. Plus, you not only need to know your CEs, plus within the first 6 months of being licensed, you've got to know contracts, you've got to know addenda, you got to know, you got to know all of the agreements, listing and buyers, basic things.
Important stuff.
The basics. And I am very involved with RPAC in our local network. RPAC is thebomb.com. I love RPAC. I can honestly say, if it wasn't for RPAC, granted, I didn't go out as often as my other fellow realtors, but it's because of RPAC, real estate agents in the state of Maryland were allowed to work during COVID. And I know that for a fact because I know agents who are licensed in PA and they couldn't work a lot during COVID. They told them that their jobs weren't essentials. And because of RPAC and our relationship with them, real estate agents were considered essential when I was like, yeah, hey. And it still allowed me to do referral business through Women's Council. So I was very, very grateful for that.
And I want to thank you for being a major investor. That's so, so important for you out there in the audience. A major investor in REALTOR is meaning that you are investing in our industry, you believe in it, you are, we are supporting our constituents that believe in property rights and believe in what we do in the community. There's so much data that shows that when families live in a home, the education is higher, the neighborhood is better, the family life is better. There's so many things, and we truly make a difference in our communities. So thank you, Anna, for supporting REALTOR and supporting all of that going forward. I have purple on today. My purple blazer just came in, and I've got my purple earrings. And so we're not in REALTOR as realtors. We are not red. We are not blue. We are purple.
We are purple.
We are purple.
We are a lavender. We are a shade of lavender that only your mother would love.
Oh, yes, I love it.
Because we don't see red. We don't see blue.
Yes.
We see people keeping their homes.
Yes.
We see people being able to afford to live somewhere.
Yes.
It's very important that we are a part of that process and investing, not donating, investing in this. You need to see what your return on your investment is. I know as a major donor, return on my investment was that I was allowed to still work and keep my job.
That's right.
Things like that. Things. That was my return on my investment.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I truly believe that we as real estate professionals, we need to look at this as a normal part of investing in our business.
Right. I kind of think of it as like an insurance policy, because it's not when, it's not if, it's when, right? There's always going to be a hiccup like COVID, like you had just mentioned. We are building bridges so that when that hiccup comes, we just continue on. We don't have to go out and develop that relationship and shake that hand for the first time. We already have built those relationships. So we were deemed essential, and you were able to continue on your real estate business. And so was I in Arizona. And that is so very important. If none of us learned that so much was during COVID. I mean, boy, did that come to the forefront and learn how important investing in our industry and building those bridges was, right?
I was never a major investor. I always invested in RPAC because, you do that. But right. I didn't become a major investor until COVID. When I saw what it really does, I was like, oh, not a problem. You know, this is business. This is right up there with my MLS dues, cost of doing business.
That's right.
Because and the ability to meet the individuals that make the laws that change your life, that affect your life. And mid-year, I cannot wait for mid-year. I'm excited for mid-year. Not only for all of the Women's Council festivities, but to meet all of the key players that will be affecting our industry. Because as you and I both know, we're short 1 million affordable housing. We don't have enough affordable housing, folks.
We have work to do, don't we?
We've got tons of work to do.
Yes.
And we need people to make sure that homes, that our politicians don't get sidetracked, especially with what's going on with all these corporations buying all the affordable housing in our country.
Right.
What's the name of the company? Blackwater, Black something Black in Canada. Arrow. And they're coming in, buying all the affordable housing. And now
they're doing it here in Arizona too.
Oh, yes.
I got an offer from them.
Oh, geez. And you know, you got to do what you have to do. Canada just passed a law. No non-Canadians can buy in Canada because of what's going on there with these investors.
Yeah, and it is very important. We've got to address it. We really do.
We have to. This is getting to the point where it's getting crazy.
Yes,
it's
definitely.
Crazy.
Definitely. Well, let's talk about that more. I am very excited about mid-year as well. And I did last year reach my Hall of Fame for RAPAC. So I get to be inducted into Hall of Fame for RAPAC. So I'm very excited about that.
You go, girl. Snaps. Yeah.
So I am excited about that. But I want to know where you got your tenacity, Anne. Where did that grit come from, Anna?
Honestly, it's from all of the, and you're going to think this is silly, a lot of it comes from the women in my life. My mother was a single mom, so there was no, there was no, I don't want to do it. It was, I got to get it done. Okay. It just has to get done. And in my organization, I surround myself with women that just got to get it done, that I know what needs to be done. They understand the assignment, so to speak. So in my private life, on my non-realtor life, I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And my sorority, my sisterhood teaches that you're used to hearing no, so figure out a way to work around it. And we are women that are very accomplished and very encouraging of other young women to cultivate and encourage high scholastic and ethical standards, to promote unity among college women. And my sorority also encourages service to all mankind. So my sorority helps, my sisterhood, my friends, and my friends at Women's Council. It's the women, the strong women and men around me that make me know that I am not alone. Like my husband always says, the only person stopping you from doing what you want is you.
Amen to that. Amen to that. It's sometimes we have to be reminded, but that is so true.
Yep.
Okay, so tell me, I think I know the answer to this, but tell me your Women's Council why.
Ooh. My Women's Council why is because I didn't want another woman to be as, I didn't want people to go through what I went through my first years as a real estate agent. Unnecessary stress, unnecessary hurt, unnecessary nonsense. So I wanted, when I became like my first year as president, I tried to develop programs where women can find financing and strategic planning for their business. So I teamed up with CCBC and with, it's on the tip of my tongue, this organization where they give $10,000 $10,000 for grants for
Okay.
people in the community. And we had during COVID, we had meetings about that. And it was phenomenal. 10,000 small business, the small business loan, the 10,000 small business loan grant. And
Okay.
they have different cohorts. And I introduced them to Women's Council. And I wanted women to have the exposure to have startup money for their businesses. We had business planning sessions. We had how do you write a business plan? How do you write a mission statement? We had all types of programs to help somebody. I wanted someone to know how to start a brokerage from soup to nuts. And how do you do that? So we interviewed broker owners who were running their own real estate business by themselves and asking them, how do you do that? Actually, the two women who are currently on the executive committee for Women's Council Greater Baltimore are the two women we interviewed that day for that question and answer series. And they are both, again, phenomenal women, Tiffany Harris and Hope Mims of Baltimore. Hope Mims is the president-elect, and she is beyond, she has this beautiful boutique brokerage, and it is so elegant. It's so her. And I'm in awe being in the presence of women like that.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So I love that. So you are passionate about helping other women, bringing them up and business, and giving them the tools so they don't have to work as hard as you do. And what a servant leader that is. So all you members out there in the audience listening to what Anna just said, such powerful words. She doesn't want you to have to work as hard as she did. She wants to give you the tools to fast track you. That's a servant leader. Thank you, Anna. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I hear it sometimes and I feel it sometimes, but it's great to hear the appreciation all the time.
It means so much, because we need more women like you that want to help and fast track other women. And that was powerful. And that's what I pulled out of that. So
thank you, because you know I ramble.
I love it. You've got all good rambling, so don't stop. You have a lot to say and I want to hear it.
Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, who mentored Anna?
Christina Carroll.
Okay, Christina
She
Carroll.
was my mentor. And when she passed, I felt so lost and so alone. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I called Joanne Poole, and I was like, what am I going to do? And she was like, well, what do you want to do?
Joanne will help. She is so awesome.
She's in my backyard. I'm telling you all, do not reinvent the wheel. These people are in your backyard. All you got to do is open your eyes and you go, oh yeah, you're there. I need you, help me. And she was like, what do you need? What can I do?
Oh.
And I was like, well, first I need you to, I need you to and I told her I needed her to do my installation. I need you to install me real quick. And she was like, okay, what else do you need, sweetie? And I gave her a laundry list.
Joanne, we love you, Joanne Poole.
She is phenomenal. I keep saying, I want to be her. And so you look at the people you want to model. Yes. And you're like, okay, they give you the blueprint. I swear to God, I tell everyone, you want to know how to do it, literally find the people that did it before you. Right. And just do what they did. It's really not that hard.
Just ask, right? Just ask, raise your hand and ask for help. And they're there. I'll never forget, I interviewed Joanne Poole for a panel that I was facilitating. And I wanted to know about her personally and, what she liked to do on a day off or, things like that. Snack was. And she shared with me jelly beans. She always carries jelly beans in her briefcase.
She does.
I love that.
She does. Joanne's like grandma. She always got candy. Joanne's like grandma. She always
She's
got
awesome.
candy. And my liaison, Myrtle, Pearl Webb, Pearl Wetzel, I'm sorry, Pearl Wetzel. She is my liaison and we call her Mother. Mind you, Pearl is not that much older than the rest of us, but her demeanor is so, I said no. to keep all of us, because, you know, again, the majority of our executive board is less than 8 years in.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of us are less than 8 years in, less than 5 years in, you know. Well, I'm 5 years in, Tina's 5 years in. Yeah. So, you know, we're not like 12, 15, 20 years in, like Pearl. So
Right.
we're like, oh, wait, and she's, calm down, ladies. And we're all like, okay.
Keep in line.
Keep you in line. And I use my resources. I use Jackie Bennett. I use Lisa Chamberlain. I just text Lisa yesterday. The other day, I was like, how do I do this? Go here, go there, and it'll be there. Thank you. You're the best.
Aww.
I use my resources. And I'm telling you all, these people if you want to make a difference in real estate, I am not going to sugarcoat it. Women's Council is where you start. Yes. They give you the blueprint for leadership. Mm-hmm. They give you the blueprint for how you are going to maneuver around these other committees.
Yes.
And they teach you parliamentary procedure.
Robert's rules. Yes.
Robert's rules. Help me to help, because if you don't know parliamentary procedure, Women's Council drills it in you.
Yes.
We had Cindy Reddy at our workshop. Every year we have Cindy. Yep. She comes every year. I think she has a contract. We're just like, hey, Cindy.
Okay, Cindy's my #1 mentor. She lives like 4 miles from me.
You know, and Carolyn, we called in Carolyn. She's like, girl, I'll come. I was like, hey. You know, I'm into, I called Carrie. I found her on social. I called her I texted her. I was like, Carrie, I need you to do this. And she was like, when and where? When and where? I was like, no problem.
So the moral of the story is raise your hand, have self-confidence, and then just ask for help, because
they will help you. They're not going to say no.
Yeah.
They're not going to say no.
Yep. Yep. That's so true. Anna, I want to wrap this
anyone
up.
Tell you no? Give me a
No.
second. Has anyone ever told you no?
No.
They never say no.
No, there's always someone in Women's Council that is going to help you. And that's the power of the network. It's the power of who we are. I call it that secret sauce within the organization. But you just have to have the courage first. For all of the members that are out there listening, listen to Anna, just raise your hand, just ask, initiate that, and there's someone there that is going to help you. So listen to Anna, because she's speaking the truth, and that is the power of Women's Council. Now, Anna, we have gone over, I think I could talk to you for 2 hours, but to wrap this up, what does Anna Ferguson want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for never leaving a man behind. I am not leaving an agent behind. No agent is going to be left behind on my watch. You will get where you want to be. I'll help you get there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. These are powerful, powerful words that are spoke by Anna Ferguson, the president of Maryland, state president. And so please remember those words, friends, because that's all you have to do is just raise your hand and ask. So thank you, Anna, for being so awesome, for being powerful, for being intentional, and for lifting others as you climb. Thank you for being on Sip with Stacey today.
Thank you, Stacey, for having me. I hope your audience can handle it.
They're in for a surprise. Okay, well, have a wonderful day. We'll talk soon.
You too. Be blessed, babe.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye, hon.
Bye-bye.